Praise the Lord. What a good evening. And this evening we have Narendra Sahu with us. And in response to the video, that latest video, Rajiv Malhotra has brought up with his newly scholar with whom, he said that he would take a lot of help through her scholarship from the MDiv background, which is done like in a distance education manner. And with all that research, let's see what kind of research and what kind of material against Christian faith they both can put together. But anyways, they call Esther Dhanraj as ex-Christian, whereas I would call her ex-Hindu. And it is shame on the interviewer, Rajiv Malhotra, because he should have already acknowledged that she is a ex-Hindu as well. So continuing with the same series of videos that we will be doing from now on, Narendra Sahu will be speaking tonight with us, and Narendra Sahu will be explaining how he is an ex-Hindu and what made him call himself an ex-Hindu and how he believed in the Lord and what kind of difference does it make when you walk with the Lord. And also we will be talking a little bit about whether the Indian Christians are competent enough to understand the philosophical and Christian theological concepts. And based on that, based on the judgment passed by our so-called scholar who said, Indian Christians don't understand a lot of theology, etc., etc. So we will get into that. And let's welcome Narendra Sahu this evening. And hi, Narendra, how are you?
Pleasure to meet you, brother. It's a pleasure to be on this show again on the other side of the table for a change. So thank you for having me on board.
Well, Narendra, give us a little bit of brief about your background.
By background, you mean my what I'm doing now, or where I come from? What is it?
Well, your background in terms of where you come from, why you call yourself an ex-Hindu, or if you are a Christian now, why you call yourself a Christian. Just walk us through what made you make this decision.
So my background, okay, just to get very technically precise, my father is a born Christian. My mother is a born Saraswat Brahmin, like a high caste Brahmin. As you know that even in Brahmins there are different castes, upper caste, lower caste, even within like divisions, even within Brahminism. So this is a upper class Brahmin. Now that it sounds basically paradoxical because my father, even though he was a born Christian, never handed us a Bible, never gave us any biblical teachings or whatever. I never really went to church or any sort of anything on those lines. My mother, on the other hand, I used to find it something of a paradoxical at home because my mother would go to church sometimes. And this I'm talking like when I was maybe in my teen time, and I would ask her, Dad's a Christian, doesn't go to church, you are not a Christian, and you are going to church. So she would tell me that, I used to be, I look very fit, I won, bodybuilding competitions and stuff, but when I was small, I used to be phenomenally sick. Phenomenally means quite sick. I was given up by the doctors for dead like a couple of times. I take him away, he's gone. But it was really God's grace that I'm here in front of you. So what used to happen is we were extremely poor. Like first 25 years of my life, we were living in a house that was like 12 feet by 14 feet, and there was 6 of us. And it had a tin roof. That is 25 years of my life. And even if I might say this, even it was like a shared toilet, and there will be like one toilet, and there will be like 12 families, and we all had to go with a bucket of water types. So it was very, very, very not very good rather. But my mother used to be the only working member in the family, and she did amazing for us. So because we were so poor, and I used to be so sick, my mother, because she would go to all these magicians, those tantrics and stuff, because what is happening, my husband is not working, my son is almost dying or dead, whatever. and nothing is getting anywhere. So, they would give her something and stuff like that, and nothing worked out. But she would still keep trying because she had nowhere to go. All the temples and all, everything had failed. And she used to work 2 jobs, not one, 2 jobs she would work. And so once somebody told her that, okay, there is this very well acknowledged, tantric, like a magician, like real magician, not that, pulling the rabbit from the hat type magician.
Okay.
Real, like, sorcerer, if I might use it, not the right word, is magician is not the right word, sorcerer. So go there, he'll help you. And I also used to go with her, sometimes to see what I used to find it very interesting, this ghost business, So anyway, so that guy told her in his trance, he told her, this is not the place for you. This is not the place for you. Why did you come here? So she asked him, what should I do? Where should I go? And he said, I still can't believe it. And I've said it like a dozen times. I heard it 100 times. And when I still speak it, the hair on the back of my neck stands up. And that guy told her, you have the shadow of the Christian God on you. You should go there. And she was stunned.
So you are saying that you lived a life, like you lived a poor life, and your father was not working. Your mother is a Brahmin by birth, and she raised you into Hindu culture. Whereas when nothing was working out, she went to a tantric, and he suggested her to go to church.
It's not a suggestion. They're in their trance. I don't know whether you've ever seen it in your life. Okay. It's not a suggestion. So they'll be in their own, eyes turned and, all hair like this, and they'll speak anything that comes to their mind.
Okay.
So you go to the Christian God. This is not the place for you. Go away. So she was stunned. We never. Even my father used to be a very, ardent idol worshipper. He would have. I still remember all, Santoshi Mata, this, that, all. He was a very ardent bhakta of Santoshi Mata.
One more question. But you said your father was a Christian, but he worships all the idols, as you said.
Yes, like, that's what I said. Yes, that's what I said. Never, no Bible for us.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So my father, ardent idol worshipper, so he would do all these things. So we never had any biblical exposure. So my mother is thinking, what does going to a church mean? So for us, from where we came from, going to a church means that Roman Catholic, like big churches and having that, mass service and that Navinas and stuff.
Right.
So she started going to this church, this Navina. Nobody called her, nobody offered her anything, but she still used to go, do something for me. Whichever God, there is some God, do something for me. So he started going to this Roman Catholic thing. And miraculously, things started getting better. Nobody gave us any medicine or nobody came for us to pray. But things started improving. Means my health started improving. Things started stabilizing at home. It's not that we got a lot of money or something. So after that, we grew up. Things were, improving. I started, doing some job here and there. And there are many things happened in that. We were living in a rented premises. We got thrown out from there after a fight with the landlord, and it was really, there are so many things that's rushing through my mind. In 1 year, I made so much money that I could buy a house. So I bought a house in Andheri in Bombay, and it was a ground floor because incidentally at that time my mother got very sick with arthritis, severe arthritis. So there was this guy who was doing the interior, doing the civil work in the house that we bought. So he said, your mother is so sick. I am a Punjabi. I was deaf in 1 year. You go to this church, he prays, and she'll probably be right, good, probably be healed. I didn't believe in all this, because for me by then there was nothing called as, I would go to anywhere. My friends would take me to some temple, I would go. I had most of my friends were Muslims, and I had studied, and literally the religions didn't really make any sense anywhere. Right. It was very bad. It was very bad, Praveen. I don't know whether you've seen severe arthritis. Very bad. It was not just like my joints are hurting type arthritis. They had to tie her legs with Krebs bandage because her joint should not move. It was that painful. My pastor's wife came out and she said, Naren, your mother is healed. I said, what happened to her? what do you mean healed? First of all, I thought maybe she got a cold or a cough and suddenly she started feeling better. I'm not joking. As God is my witness, that's what I thought when she told me. Because it was too much for me to imagine that my mother's arthritis got healed. So I went and she was standing and she's jumping. I said, "What happened to you?" And she's saying, "My arthritis is gone." I said, "What the hell you mean gone?" So she's saying, "The pain is gone." I said, "How do you mean gone? First of all, where are your bandages?" She's saying, "I threw it away." I said, "What do you mean threw it away? How are you going to how am I going to take you home now?"
Okay.
So she oh man. She said, "No, she just sat down, she got up, and she's saying, "I'm fine." And okay, see, in science there is something called, as a placebo sort of a thing, where your mind convinces itself that it is fine, and in most cases, the body is not healed, but the mind feels it's healed. So in that moment of ecstasy, you forget the pain, and then after some time the pain comes back. So I thought, okay, it could be that moment of hyper spirituality or ecstasy or happiness, and she's feeling well, and I was not wishing bad for her. But I thought, okay, and sometimes she'll be fine. Then she'll be back, and so okay. And she got home, and she's fine, and she's still fine. And she'd be sitting on the chair, and my job was to in case she moves, I have to run and get her up, because I can't afford to see her in pain. And she would just move a bit, and I would jump and, "Oh, mama, let me help." No, she's saying, I'm fine, go away. Why are you coming to me? I said, "No, mama, let me help you at least." She's saying, "No, I'm fine."
So you saw her completely healed.
Yeah, but it was, I waited in the sense, I thought maybe in a week, 10 days, and a week, 10 days, and 20 days, 1 month, 2 months, and she's still fine.
Okay.
So then I thought there is something that needs to be investigated. There's something. But then, lot of questions, because, you hear of this so-called miracles even in other religions.
Right. Just one question. It's very interesting that your mom was suggested or advised or maybe, just told by a sorcerer to visit a church. And then you were told by a Punjabi to take your mom to a church. And no Christian spoke to you. Did they offer you any money?
Is this a damn joke, man? We are live on this.
I kept hearing from a lot of people that most of the Christians are Christians today because they are given either rice or clothes or money or what did you fall for?
First of all, no, nobody give us anything at any point of time. And for these things, that is the money part, at any point, nothing. If I can, I don't remember the words verbatim. In the book of Genesis, when Lot, is being taken away, the nephew of Lot is taken away. And Abraham goes after him. And he gets him back. And he gets him back. And he gets the positions of the other kings also back. And he gives it to the king. The kings have been looted. And he gives it back to them. And the king offers to, you can put up the words on the screen. And the king offers to give something to Abraham. And Abraham says, "I will not even accept the belt of a sandal from you, because I don't want anybody to say that I made Abraham rich."
Right.
I don't know whether you can see the words on the screen.
Yeah.
So I never planned it that way, but that has been the story. Like I have, I run 4 businesses now. I have companies across the world. Some of the largest companies works with me, and no one ever gave anything to me. Never. And at this time, I can afford to buy out almost most of those people anyway. So, but I know no one. That is actually a joke. And if I can answer your query in that, the only person who gave anything to me is my God. So, and I say that to my kids also. That is, and my kids ask me, because sometime back I took them to see the house where I was born and brought up. And I told them this is where I was born, and they couldn't believe it because my hall is bigger than that entire house I lived in. So they asked me, and I tell them that if the hand of God is removed, your father will be, sitting in a telephone booth, that STD PCO booth, and he'll be, doing that sort of a work. And this is only because of the hand of God. So as far as anybody gave anything to me, yes, lots, and the only person would be Christ, nobody else.
Okay, so coming back to the lot of questions that you had, like what were the questions that you had, and how those questions led you to truth? Like you said, investigation started, but I keep hearing from learned and scholarly people like Rajiv Malhotra Sahib and his new associates that Indians don't do their research. They don't have these inquisitive skills. They don't go by question. It's all emotional. What do you say? How were you led to Christ with those questions?
If I can be very sharp in my response to this point, I was very angry with, I saw that video of Rajiv, and Rajiv is saying, here I have people sitting and I discuss with them. And Praveen, it is you and me who have written to Rajiv.
Oh yeah. We both
challenged him to a debate. He first agreed. Agreed.
Yes.
And then he absconded. He looked up our site. He looked up the work that God's grace is happening. And then he absconded. And this guy has the audacity. And this guy has the audacity to say and sit and hear the rubbish. That is, Indian Christians don't think. And we are challenging him for a debate, and he is absconding away.
Yeah.
So for me, no, there is nothing. To be honest with you, even the miracle I could have sidestepped, because there are many miracles happening, and I will not be as derogatory as Esther, who would say, okay, it was a small. I'm surprised. I was shocked when Esther was saying that her mother got healed, and the way she just waved it away. On what basis? She never discussed, never mentioned what happened. Fine. How can she just wave it away? It's something I don't understand. But for me, the miracle was not the turning point. And my pastor says it very well. A miracle, because I've seen numerous, dozens and dozens of miracles in my life. And in front of me, people on stretchers have gone up and gone walking. I've seen it with my own eyes. My grandmother who had pneumonia and tuberculosis healed like this. I have the X-rays to show the pneumonia and the TB patches in her lungs. I have all that, but that is not the point. The point is, does the worldview actually make sense? Because there are other religions. I see, I'm born and brought up in a Hindu background. There was a temple right in front of my house, and every time before going to the school, you bow down and you touch the feet of the statue, eat the offering, pay, put some money and go. That was the ritual every day. So why should this be different? So of course it was a lot of mental turmoil for me, because this was back in 2001, and that time there was no Google. That time there was no sites. That time I didn't know you guys, most importantly. But it got me thinking. Then I started investigating, because it has to make sense. I have to take the path which is logically and consistently true, even if it is Islam, even if it is whatever, Jainism, Buddhism, whatever be the case. I started reading, and it was very bad for me. I remember so many nights I've cried to sleep because I didn't have the answers.
Right.
There was no distance education and all these things, and then searching through the internet. There's so many sites speaking this Islamic sites basically raising doubts on Islam, Christianity. And then after so many years, it took me like almost 2 years, 3 years to be 100% convinced that there is no other choice. And believe me, Praveen, if I can say this, there are times when I wish I'm wrong, because these other ways of life, Hinduism, Islam, they seem so much more lucrative that you can live your life in the way that you want to. There are sometimes your heart, your brain wants, your mind wants to go in a particular direction, but the Bible is saying go in this direction because you're wrong. So for me, it has not been a sake of convenience. For me, it has been always, even now, I'm not saying ever that my studies have stopped. It is still going on, asking questions, discussing, debating. Unfortunately, the proud American citizen Rajiv Malhotra doesn't agree for a discussion or a debate on these areas. So we are left in want, because as far as India is concerned, it's been a long time since we have had a debate, because nobody simply agrees for a discussion. So I hope that answers.
The inquisitiveness, or passion for learning things, and passion for logic, passion for a constructive methodology of understanding a lifestyle, understanding a philosophy, understanding theology, etc., is competently available in India as well for thousands of years. And people like Rajiv Malhotra needs to understand this before they bring up some pseudo ex-Hindu, ex-Christian, and ex-what next kind of people onto the screen, and try to put a shabby show. However, I would like to ask another question, Naren, on a very lighter note.
Let me add a point before you ask me the next question. This is this is really surprising, my friend. I don't know. I'm sure that you remember the text conversation with Rajiv, and Rajiv says that Christians are text obsessed.
Oh yeah, he said that in our email.
Text obsessed. The guy who's saying about being very inquisitive and being about questioning and discussing is saying to us that we are text obsessed. That's why he doesn't want to debate with us. And you can see the quote on the screen of a Hindu scholar who has said that such discussions with missionaries had made Hindus reject their own scriptures. That's why from scripture it is now shifted to experience. And it is because of questioning by missionaries. I think Rajiv ran away. The reason being, I think he must have thought that in case I debate with this guy, he will lose whatever, he must have had faith in whatever he's believing in. Probably. Not to mention the funding.
Yeah, possible. And recently, few of these goons who he hired probably from America have been trying to call me and threaten me and stuff like that, and also do some cheap videos, calling us names, etc. But there is no doubt that these international Hindutva mafia, Hindutva goons are trying to break India, trying to spoil the name of India, trying to demean the Constitution of India, and God willing, we will definitely be fighting back and speaking the truth continuously. Anyways, coming back to a lighter note question, let me ask you a straightforward question. What would you, if I want to call you as an ex, fill in the blank, would you like to call an ex-Hindu, an ex-Christian, now Christian, or continuing Christian? What would you like to call yourselves? I mean, based on the video that we just responding to.
See, my entire upbringing, let me summarize it quickly. My entire upbringing has been in the Hindu culture. Okay. Whether it is my father, who was who was born a Christian, but never, nothing in the house was Christian, not even a Bible in the house.
Okay.
And my mother, who was who was a born upper caste Brahmin. My upbringing has been that of a Hindu, and my grandmother, who was the closest person in my life, and God bless her soul, and before she passed away, she accepted Christ. Even she was a very ardent Hindu. So for me, from that perspective, you can say an ex-Hindu because that's my upbringing. But to be honest with you, I never really, took a foothold in anything because it simply did not make any sense to me. First of all, never investigated Christianity because it was not on our horizon. And I never, Hinduism never really made sense. Too many questions. It simply didn't make sense to me at all. I don't know. You can give it a fill in the blanks.
Yeah, probably I'll give a name to this video. So Naren, continuing our discussion, I heard, or in that video, Shri Rajiv Malhotra Sahab says that he will take the help of Esther Dhanraj Garu, and we will come up with a series of videos, and he will take her help, etc. And she also said, I'll come up with videos. And I find her not an ex-Christian, but more or less an anti-Christian or an anti-Christian, more or less a Hindutva, sold to Hindutva mafia. This is I take the full responsibility of the statements that I'm making. And we are waiting for such content to come out so that we can, successfully refute. And, what do you say about that? Are you scared about that material when it comes out as they like to propagate? One person went out of Christianity and everybody is afraid of her. Everybody is scared of the material that she will bring out. What do you think? Is it new to you?
Bro, I always loved your sense of humor. Because that video for me was funny. Because at one time, before I saw your video, that she was saying that she is almost like signed up for a PhD level course and working on a thesis and papers and stuff like that. And the questions that she was asking, see the silly questions, like the age of the earth and the history of the church. I cannot imagine any seminary anywhere where you can go and ask a question. They will not answer these simple questions.
Yeah.
Okay, all said. Let's give everything to Esther. So my word of advice, because if you see her second video, she is saying that her advice to Indian Christians is to question everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my advice to her is that the best way to make the Indian Christians look at Hinduism very closely and very better in the good way is that, if I'm sure, Esther, you're listening to this, you're seeing this video, Rajiv, I'm sure that you're hooked onto it. The best way is that at this time, one of the best known groups in the country, if not the best known group in the country as far as apologetics is concerned, is Sakshi. There are many other groups, many other people. Take your pick. Take your pick. There is, in Telugu or Tamil or Malayalam, there is Hindi or English. You name the language, you name the place, and we'll be there. You go ahead with this debate. Indian Christians will watch it. And if you're able to prove your point, that will be the best way for you to tell the Indian Christians that Christianity in India is bankrupt. You can actually give a nail in the coffin by doing this debate if you think you are so right.
Yeah,
that would be my word. That would be my word. Come up with it. This is getting boring. And what sort of questions? I've seen her videos, utter rubbish, and she behaves as if she's thought of these questions new and there are no answers anywhere. Those questions even I had.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that both Esther and Rajiv has already absconded. And Rajiv, I'm sure that you're seeing this video, your best choice is to send out Esther, because in case she loses, you've got nothing to lose. You can still put up the links of, to donate to Infinity Foundation, click on this link. You can continue with those links in case Esther loses. Otherwise, if you really feel very lucky, you can do a panel debate with Esther and you together. And if both of us can be together, what do you think, Brother Praveen?
Oh yeah, sure. I would on a heartbeat take up with Rajiv Malhotra, and because he declared himself as a scholar, and a lot of people talk about him as a scholar, and I would like to get a little bit of experience with that scholar as well.
Oh yes.
And see, oh yeah. I think he's a fake scholar. He ran away from the invitation that we gave 4 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago, and he called us, text savvy Abrahamic religions.
Text obsessed.
Text obsessed Abrahamic religions, and he called us names. And I'm waiting for, I'm willing to go to US if he invites me. I have, I regularly travel to US. He can organize a debate there. I'm willing to.
I'm flying to US next week.
Oh yeah.
I'm flying to US next week. I'll be in California. I'll be more than happy to do it impromptu.
Oh yeah.
So anyway. So that would be my point for Rajiv and Esther. Esther, if you've got any sort of, you behave in a sort of calculated and a so-called sophisticated manner. I'm not trying to do, I know you said that people are doing ad hominems and making, personal attacks. This is absolutely not a personal attack. And if you are again going to insinuate that is utter rubbish. because what we are doing essentially is that we are refuting your claims, and whatever claims that you have made on yourself as being a so-called scholar, which is nothing more than a distance education by your own folks. So that is not an ad hominem, not an ad hominem at all.
Yeah,
So
the actual
sorry?
argument starts. The actual argument starts when she actually puts out those videos, and I've been waiting for 1.5 years, and it didn't materialize. In Telugu, she put out her first video probably 1.5 years ago, and we've been waiting, for those videos, and it never came. And the same thing will happen to Rajiv Malhotra Sahib as well. He will be waiting for those videos, and nothing will come out.
Yeah. So, but also, Rajiv, we are thankful to you for making all these videos so that we get good content to refute, because we know that you will not be coming for a discussion. So that's all that we have to say.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Anyways, it was nice chatting with you, Naren, and let's hope as we wrote email to Rajiv Malhotra and failed to get him, on our or failed to get onto his platform and speak because he ran away. But this time, at least this video, he may get some enlightenment and would like to speak to you and me, and along with newly robed in scholars with distance education. How those discussions will go. And I would like to appeal to all the audience of this video that we are eagerly waiting, my brothers, my sisters. If you're listening, whether it is Hindu friends, Hindu sisters, Hindu brothers, Christian sisters, brothers, and whoever across the world, I would like to invite these people, especially Rajiv Malhotra Sahab and his his fake scholars, to come over to our dais, and we are willing to dialogue with you, discuss with you, and see if we are really dumb. Why don't you expose us on the public platform? We really want to be. Yeah,
that's
we
the
really
best
want.
way. So I appeal to all the fans of Rajiv Malhotra. I appeal to all the fans of Sakshi that please do us a favor and tag this video on the Infinity Foundation page of Rajiv Malhotra, on the personal page of Rajiv Malhotra, on the Twitter feeds of Rajiv and Esther. You can see the links in the comment section, in the description of this video. Click on it, please tag it, and ask him why is he not coming on the platform with us. And you can also in the description see the entire chain of communication with Rajiv, where he actually accepted the debate challenge. He even wrote in his secretary, some Shruti or some female, some nice female, whatever, to fix the dates. To fix the dates, man. And then he's saying, no, why should I debate with you? You guys would shout and what? And then he just stopped responding.
The truth is, he saw some of our videos, or maybe some of our articles, and as expected, he thought, the Indian Christians are not, they are dumbstruck, they are awestruck when they see his knowledge. The Kali Yuga Shankaracharya with computers in his hand, he will come up and bash us with the knowledge. And when he saw the material that we give out free of cost and not boast about it, we, regular people, then he thought probably that he wouldn't be able to stand. So I guess, in my personal opinion, that's the reason he ran away. But anyways, let's pray and see, if with the newly roped in scholars, he might want to face us in the future, or we are willing to do it on our platform or on his platform, wherever it is. We are willing to do it, whether it is in India or in US or online is also fine. Anyways, thank you so much, Naren, for giving you.
Before we end, one more thought. Sorry for this. Sorry for this. But you mentioned that did somebody offer anything to me for becoming a Christian, or did anybody give anything to me after I became a Christian? The stark reality, brother, this time, and I asked the viewers also to investigate. In none of our Sakshi videos, in none of our Sakshi programs that we host, we have ever asked for money from anybody. We are a self-financed group.
Yeah.
You are having your own work. I have my own blessings on business. Everybody puts in their own whatever they can spare after paying taxes and doing whatever we can for the Lord's work.
Yes.
So whatever we are blessed with, we are trying to be a blessing. And here this guy is asking for money at every drop of a hat. And he
Yeah.
has the audacity to say that the Christians are asking for money or giving money. That
Yeah.
it's a business for us. And if you look at the video of Rajiv, that's such a shameful statement and such, he should be shamed of himself. And you can see the screen, you can see the video grab on the screen where Rajiv is asking for money. And he is saying that we are selling a product, that we are doing this for money. And here he is peddling nonsense with no guts and asking for money. That is something that people should be thinking about, guys.
Yeah. And with that money, what does he do? He breaks India. With that money, what does he do? He creates polarization in India. With that money, what does he do? He encourages terrorism in India. That is why I call him, without any apology, without any doubt in my mind, I'm saying he is a sponsored worldwide or international, mafia of Hindutva politics. So there is, God willing, we will expose the truth one day.
Amen to that, brother. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Naren, and we will meet again in another video very soon.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Take care.